Chapter 2 Leng Yueshuang, I've been waiting for you. After figuring out his current condition, Lin Luo Chen slowly opened his eyes and surveyed the dilapidated wooden hut. The Lin family had made their living as hunters on the edge of the Broken Moon Demon Gorge for generations. By the time Lin Changsheng came along, they were so poor that no woman dared marry into the family. It was a perfect example of the old saying, "Poverty doesn't last 3 generations." Because by the 3rd generation, they'd all died out. Just when extinction seemed inevitable, a massive white rat crawled out of the Broken Moon Demon Gorge, carrying Lin Luo Chen in its mouth. After Lin Changsheng picked up the child, the rat gave him one last reluctant look, bowed several times, and vanished. From then on, Lin Changsheng was utterly convinced that Lin Luo Chen was no ordinary child. He named him Luo Chen, fallen dust, believing he had descended from the heavens. Lin Changsheng spent his life waiting for Immortals to come and reclaim Lin Luo Chen, showering him with divine blessings and boundless riches. But he died waiting. And Lin Luo Chen, in turn, waited until his own death, yet his birth parents never came. Maybe they were already dead. Lin Luo Chen wasn't a true Lin by blood, so before his death, Lin Changsheng urged him to leave the mountains and seek his own path. But Lin Luo Chen stubbornly stayed, observing the traditional 3-year mourning period. Now, judging by the wild boar tied up outside, squealing and awaiting slaughter, he could roughly gauge the time. 3 days from now would be the anniversary of Lin Changsheng's death. That boar was meant to be an offering. Once the mourning period ended, he had planned to pay his respects and leave the mountains. But then he ran into that damned woman, Leng Yueshuang. At the time, he'd thought it was his father's spirit blessing him with a wife. Turns out, it was a one-way ticket to a lifetime of imprisonment. Now that he'd been reborn, his first instinct was to stay the hell away from Leng Yueshuang and avoid repeating history. He could leave, cultivate in peace, and only return for revenge once he was strong enough. But if he didn't save her, she'd drown in that lake. And who would he take his anger out on then? Her dying would be an easy escape, no repayment for his century of imprisonment. No, that debt had to be settled. Brutally. More importantly, she still had the fate reversal stele on her. It might hold the latter half of the Fates reincarnation scripture and the secret of his rebirth. There was no way he could let Jiyu Qinghan get her hands on it again. But if he intervened, wouldn't he just be walking into the same trap? Maybe, save her, steal the stele, and run? But with both righteous and demonic factions hunting for it, could he really escape? Lin Luo Chen sighed. Even with rebirth, he only had 3 days. Even if he cultivated non-stop, his strength wouldn't improve much in such a short time. He smacked his forehead. Is there any way to gain power quickly? As he did, a blood-stained, broken blade clattered to the floor with a crisp ting. It was just the tip of a sword, no more than a palm's length, crystalline like amber, with a sinister crimson glow, as if stained by some ancient blood. Lin Luo Chen bent down to pick it up, his face lighting up with joy. According to Lin Changsheng, this blade had been wrapped in his swaddling clothes when he was found. No one knew what it was made of, but it could slice through iron like paper, remained unharmed by fire or water, and never dulled. Lin Changsheng had once tried burning it for 3 days straight, yet it stayed ice-cold to the touch. Lin Luo Chen had used it as a throwing knife since childhood, hunting with unmatched precision. But in his past life, its true power was exposed during an escape attempt, and Jiyu Qinghan confiscated it. Now, he wiped the blade clean, a faint smile tugging at his lips. Old friend, long time no see. He didn't know what connection this blade had to his parents, but if even the sword was broken, they were likely dead. Given that it could cut through spiritual weapons and injure cultivators, it was a treasure of the immortal path. So my parents were cultivators too, but something happened. He exhaled sharply, then ran his finger along the blade's edge. A thin line of blood welled up, and the blade pulsed with a sinister red light. He had discovered long ago that feeding it his blood made it impossibly sharp, while his wounds healed unnaturally fast. Since then, he had regularly nourished it with his blood. Suddenly, an idea struck him. Got it. He pocketed the blade, gathered his things, and headed down the mountain. If I can't win by force, I'll have to outsmart them. Even if he wasn't strong enough yet, he knew exactly what was coming. 3 days later, by the lake deep in the mountains, Lin Luo Chen leaned against a solitary grave, sipping wine as he held a fishing rod over the water. He tapped his wine jar against the open one placed before the tomb, his voice tinged with melancholy. Old Lin, it's been a while, but I'll have to leave again soon. If you're lonely, I'll burn a few immortal maidens for you later. Live ones. Don't worry, I'll visit when I can. If you've got any pull up there, keep me out of trouble, all right? He drained the wine in one gulp, then donned a half-face iron mask and cast his line. I know you'll miss me, so one last fishing trip together. And this time it's gonna be a big one. Time passed without a single bite, but Lin Luo Chen wasn't impatient. Rod in hand, he gazed calmly at the sky and murmured, "Should be about time now." In his past life, he had been fishing here with Lin Changsheng, joking that his father should send him a wife, unlike him, who died alone. The moment those words left his mouth, that foolish woman had plummeted from the sky and crashed into the lake. Back then, it had terrified him, making him wonder if Lin Changsheng had somehow become an underworld official with real influence. Little did he know that gift would cost him a century of freedom. Just as his thoughts wandered, a violent surge of spiritual energy erupted. The air above the lake twisted, and a woman in blue-white robes materialized midair. Her elegant attire was drenched in blood. The moment she appeared, she plummeted straight into the water. Lin Luochen watched the splash with detached calm, a cold smirk curling his lips. "You're finally here, Leng Yueshuang. I've been waiting." He remained seated, fishing rod in hand, observing as she struggled in the water, her blood slowly staining the lake red. Leng Yueshuang's spiritual power was sealed, preventing her from circulating qi. And since she couldn't swim, help. I can't. But Lin Luochen didn't move. What the hell? Is this guy blind? She flailed desperately, but her injuries sapped her strength. Soon, her movements slowed. Am I really going to drown like this? Just as darkness crept in, splash, a figure dove in from the shore, sending bubbles surging around her. Through the blurry water, she saw a man wearing a half-mask, his piercing eyes cold and unfathomable. For a moment, she felt an inexplicable sense of déjà vu, as if they had met across lifetimes. But then he swam behind her, wrapped an arm around her waist, and pulled her toward the surface.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and comment to motivate me to continue.